Hi, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to be switching the scripts a little bit, and I'm going to be putting Toby on the spot, and she's going to be my subject matter expert today. And what we're going to be focusing on is the curriculum and the real world, the school curriculums and the real world. So first, I would like to ask you how curriculums have changed over time since you first started.
Okay, so this is a very interesting question, and you're trying to put me in trouble because I got into education fully in 2000 and when was this again? Yes, it was 2014. I got into education fully in 2014, and we've had different versions of the Nigerian curriculum produced or printed. But I can't say that there's a lot of changes that has been made to it, actual changes that have been made to it. So when I say changes as it relates to the learning outcomes for children, and how is the impact different? So what's the new thing that we're addressing? So I remember one time that there was a situation, I think it was this conversations going around the fact that a lot of Chinese children know how to code. And it was a big conversation. I mean, there was also a time when people were learning Mandarin because it was suddenly like one of the top languages in the world and everybody wanted to know how to speak in Mandarin, and parents were like, so I feel like sometimes some changes are made to accommodate these trends. So obviously the Mandarin language wasn't added to the Nigerian curriculum, but I know that at some points, I think maybe this was in 2020 or 2019, somewhere along the lines that they added coding to the Nigerian curriculum. Now, it's written there as a subject requirement. Now, is there an outline on how to teach it? Is there like software? Is there training? Excuse me. Is there training? Is there like a whole process on how coding should be taught on all like school levels or class levels? I don't think that that's really been, attended to. So that's lacking.
Okay, so that has partly answered the question that I wanted to ask about what may be lacking in the curriculum. But if you look at the curriculum from all sides, especially as relates to what we have in the real world today, what do you think is lacking? What do you think is the gap, between where we are and where we ought to be, at least if you look at the real world and today's needs and today's ways of communication, the new media. Do you think the curriculum is fit for it, and what's lacking?
I mean, okay, so it's a very interesting question. So needs are sort of relative, and then curriculums are generally created to suit a country's ideals orientation. So if you look at like the British curriculum or even the American curriculum, it's structured to fit how they want their society to be. So it's structured to make children learn and fit into a particular norm, how they program their society to be. And so for them, I think that they will say that their curriculum suits them and it's evolved to suit whatever need that they have. But for us as an African country, we live in Nigeria, I wouldn't say that there's been any proper change. And if you think about this, there's like a huge gap between what is required and what is taught, because a lot of times, especially with private schools, as a matter of fact, sometimes when parents come to the school and you hear, oh, we only do the UB, the Nigerian curriculum, they walk out the door, they're ready to leave. But once you say, oh, we do something like maybe we do the British curriculum or we'll do the international primary, everybody's interested. But why are they interested in these solutions? They're interested because it's international, not because they fully understand the relevance of those curriculums. So what I feel is that the African environment in general does in reality promote a lot of entrepreneurship, promotes people doing things independently, which is what that is, creating solutions and creativity. But the curriculum is not aligned to do that. So we're following a lot of schools that have adopted the British curriculum, which sort of allows people to know how to train themselves to go and work in a particular office, under someone, under structure, it doesn't really promote a lot of creativity or asking the questions why, or how to make changes. So I would say that where we are in the curriculum is like it's not aligned in any way with the needs that we have.
Okay, so let's relate it to the children because they are the focus of the discussion, and how the curriculum affects them. Yeah. Now, do you think that children today, so the average school in Nigeria, using the normal Nigerian curriculum and maybe a little bit of creativity from the school directors or the teachers, do you think that children are ready for the real world? We have so many things these days, and as we have grown, we see that there are things we could have learned.
Yeah. I was just I was just coming to that. I was waiting for you to finish. I was just going to say, this is the reason why after we finish school, we start to look for courses. We're like, we need to do that course to survive here. We need to do, because the curriculum wasn't holistic. It wasn't all encompassing. So
I wish someone told me about taxes or money, investments, and things like that. So do you think that children today are being prepared for the real world? We were prepared to read further. We weren't prepared to face the world. We weren't prepared to know how to speak, how to present and stuff like that. So do you think children today in the average school is ready?
Yeah, I was just going to say that in reality, this is what separates the children that sort of go to premium schools and the average school, as you've mentioned. So what the schools have done is they've taken bits and pieces from different curriculums and integrated in a way that gives a wholesome experience to learning for a child. But the average schools, I confidently say that they do not even do close to enough to what is required. So for instance, things like financial literacy and character education are not like the typical norm in an average school in Nigeria. I mean, in Lagos State, I think that quality of education is like way advanced compared to like the rest of the country, which is really sad to see. Because you mentioned some things that are pretty basic here, and people are like, so it makes me wonder how they write the same exam and they all pass. Because like, okay, are they differentiating the questions? We're so not equipped. There's certain topics that are not being taught. Even when people say we're teaching financial literacy, the people that are teaching it are not well equipped to even teach it. So they don't even have all the information.
So which leads me to my next question. How are educators aligning with these needs? Do they even know? Because it's one thing to have a problem, it's another thing to know you have that problem and we need to solve it. There are people I know who go out of their way to self-develop for these things. But how do you think, on the average, let's take random selection of teachers, of 10 teachers or 10 school owners that how are they aligning to this need and trying to push children to prepare them for the future?
Okay, so like I said, some people are trying to do the needful in getting curriculums ready. Some people are for the sake of doing, like, we are doing this thing, but there's no guarantee that it's actually being done. But one of the reasons why we decided to do this was to educate not the children directly, because it's hard to reach everybody. You can train the people that train them. So a lot of schools are slowly, but I think surely in this part of the country, engaging in like trainings and getting more aware. And I think originally when I started, or maybe it was just my personal experience, was that people were not working together. There's a lot of independent work, a lot of doing what pleases you. And I think that one of the ills, or one of the things that we struggle with curriculum-wise in Nigeria, is the fact that schools do what they feel parents want. So if there's a serious need by parents, okay, all of a sudden I want certain clubs in school, like I want my children to know how to swim because there's someone that just won a swimming competition and won like $100 million. And so everybody wants to, immediately become a swimmer. So there's still a lot of push towards these are the trends and this is what we're teaching, but it's not still enough in relation to solving problems. Like identifying these are the issues that we have as a nation, and we need professionals or people that are equipped with the knowledge to handle these issues. So yeah,
I think that's pretty much sums it.
But I didn't say how they could align, did I?
No, you didn't.
Okay, so how can we align to doing that? So basically, every curriculum is structured, for a particular thing and solve a particular problem. So if you identify the problem that you have, the thing to do is pick relevant bits of different curriculums as they apply to your situation.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that the educators have more work to do in being a bit more flexible.
Yeah.
Keeping, a more open mind. I know that because of the way things are and because of what we have been taught over time, even the educators are trapped in this. We're trying to get a job done and not solve a problem. But if they're able to look at it from the perspective of solving a problem, then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to move faster, in getting children ready for the real world. So all these issues with bullying, with attitude, with being prepared for the workplace and all of that. And I know in one of our discussions we've said that entrepreneurship is not just starting a business.
No,
it's having an innovation mindset. You can do it in your own space and solve a problem. If this is the way my company has always done this, can we try
another way?
Yes. Yeah. So just having that innovative mindset, a problem-solving mindset.
Exactly.
So I think that's quite interesting. Thank you so much for this insight. Is there any other comments you have to add?
I mean, drawing from what you said about entrepreneurship being having an innovative mindset, a lot of people believe that being an entrepreneur means owning a business, and this is wrong. And this is why people do not even flourish in paid employment, because they feel like I have to wait for my boss to give me the line to toe. If you're not doing it, then it's not up to me. Yeah, so there's not a lot of growth and there's not a lot of new innovation. So people might know something to do, and just because of the culture that we have here of just protecting what you know, you're not trusting the next person to help you grow, and just being able to grow under people. And a lot of limitations is happening. A lot of people are limited in their abilities, and so we have to do a whole mindset shift. Like, I feel at some point, it's not only the schools that have to evolve in how they're teaching, but also the parents have to evolve in how they're thinking of how their children should learn. But yeah, there's a lot of work to be done.
Okay, I think I also think if there's a teacher or two watching, and there's something new you're doing, you can subscribe, you can comment, and just let us know, because
how you're making your class,
how you're making your class more fun is one of the things that is beginning to take center stage. Teachers are being upfront about what they're doing and things that they are doing to move the needle forward in getting children prepared. So if you have something new that you're doing, something innovative, you can put it in the comment section. We're not stealing your shine.
No, we're not. We just want to see.
We just want to know, and someone will learn. The thing is vast. Education, the educational system and where it's going is
a big space.
Vast. It's a big space.
It can accommodate everyone.
Yes. So if there's something you're doing, we're all creative beings. And if I bring one idea, you bring one, there's always more where that came from.
Exactly.
So if there's something fresh and new you're doing, you can put in the comment section and let us know if you can teach us. Maybe we can gain something.
Maybe we should do a session on practical things that teachers can do to connect real life experiences and real life, what's the word to use when you want to say this?
Immersive learning, or just relating the curriculum to lifestyle, to the real
and I think
world.
one of the things that we forgot to mention was we had discussed about how teachers can identify the skills that their children have and help them to harness that and make better, teach them in a way that improves on the things that they're great at, instead of trying to be, what their parents have decided for them to be. Sometimes I've come to learn as an educator is that some parents do not honestly know that they're doing this. So we try to leave our dreams in our children, so there's a lot of unlearning and learning to be done. But if you've done something very creative in your classroom, that optimizes the learning for your children, be sure to let us know.
If you enjoyed this episode of the show, please like, subscribe, and comment.
And if you want us to talk about any topic at all, let us know in the comment section. Thank you.